And I'm pretty sure everybody knows that with every single surgery, there was a recovery. And I never thought that my recovery would have been literally a living hell. And I just want to make this video so I can just show you guys that no matter how hard it gets, there's always something to fight for. So a little recap. I made a video about me explaining about my health and how like I had to constantly go to the ER because I was having some terrible pain right here on my left side. And then it came to the conclusion that it was my kidney. And then the only way to really fix it is surgery. That is what I was told by specialists. So me and my family, we just decided to do it. You know, it was supposed to be an easy surgery. The plan was that I get my surgery 6 a.m. Should take no more than 3 hours. I should stay in the hospital for only one night and I go back home. That simply just wasn't the case. Not for me. It definitely not for me. So I had to wait almost a good whole month or two to get my surgery because of COVID, because of all of this stuff. And then I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of like a build-up because you know, this was my first surgery. I didn't know what to expect. It was kind of scary, even though there was a 5% chance of this failing. And I was told that, you know, recovery is usually pretty easy. It's not, you know, not that bad. You know, like after one night in the hospital, you're gonna go back home. Man. Well, I guess in my case, it definitely wasn't that. My surgery took up to close to 9 hours due to some complications, which I'm fine. It wasn't life-threatening, but it definitely took longer than all the surgeons expected. My mom and dad, they were freaking out. Mainly my mom, she really thought that there was something terribly wrong going on, or like a serious complication, like, you know, something serious, and thank God it wasn't that. I don't even want to imagine how my mom was feeling. She was probably really scared. So this is the start of where I really went through hell. So I woke up for my surgery. The nurses woke me up, you know, just shaking me and say like, hey, AJ, we're finished, AJ. And then, okay, the anesthesia is it's a powerful, my gosh. And if you guys curious, it took me 6 seconds for that thing to knock me out. I couldn't not even remember it. Anyways, so I woke up, you know. I remember how they were moving, you know, my bed, you know, to the room, and then they were calling my mom, and she pretty much kind of ran just to check up on me and everything. But at the same time, I was still pretty out of it. It's anesthesia. And at that time, I didn't feel no pain because it's anesthesia. I didn't feel no pain. And I was thinking like, oh my God, this is gonna be great. But then I was thinking myself, it could be anesthesia. And then, of course, I fell back asleep for, I think, a good hour or two. And when I woke up, that's whenever I really felt it. I felt some gruesome pain around my wounds where, you know, they did surgery on, of course. That was definitely expected. But I never thought it would be so fucking bad. Oh my, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I couldn't even roll over an inch. I couldn't even get up by myself. Not even an inch. If I moved my head a little bit, as if I was doing a crunch, it felt like a bunch of people stabbing me. Doctors, they will always ask you, give me a pain scale from 0 to 10. I will give them 9 or 10. Seriously, and I'm not exaggerating. It was that bad. It really made me miserable. And for some reason, what made this even worse for me, it was my back, my lower back. I had some terrible pain right here. Pain scale 8 and 9, 10. It was, if I'm being honest, this was the pain that really made this all a living hell for me. And just imagine this, I'm laying down on the bed, and then what are you laying on? Your back, right? And your lower back. So pretty much that pain, the bed is pressing it pretty much 24/7. I have to feel that. But with the pain on these wounds, I just simply don't have to move or just even try to get up, and I don't really feel it. I really don't really feel it. It's really just my freaking back. And then I was just miserable. I was just miserable. I constantly asked for so much pain medicine with the nurses and everything. And at one point I just started to get frustrated. I couldn't sleep. I would say close to 2 weeks straight, I couldn't sleep no more than 1 to 3 hours. Who in the world can function fine with 1 to 3 hours of sleep? Especially with this pain. And I haven't even got to the part where I can't even walk. I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even get up. I asked for so much pain medication. They even gave me the strongest one, even morphine. I remember morphine didn't even do it didn't do nothing, man. It didn't even help me just a little bit. And they gave me oxycodone. Cautious, and I was very cautious about it because if you didn't know, oxycodone is very addictive. But the doctors weren't really worried about that because I mean I was careful about it, and then I wasn't really worried about that either. But you know, just thinking about how you're taking a pill that has literally killed people before, it's pretty crazy to think about. Definitely not all of it, but it really made me numb, but also it made me feel like a damn junkie. I was so out of it. You can just see my face like this. And even all this, and even with all the drowsiness, the sleepiness, I couldn't sleep. The pain was that bad, and I had to feel that day in, day out. Every time whenever I eat, I had to feel that. Every time I try to sleep, I had to feel that. Every time every time I check on my phone and all these tweets I've been tweeting about the surgery, I really felt it. It was really miserable. Really, it was something I didn't expect to experience. Something, you know, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I was just frustrated. I just felt hopeless. I was just miserable, and I was even getting depressed because I just couldn't move. I was feeling pain 24/7. Not even the pain medicine will help. Not even they trying to give me sleep medicine. Didn't even put me to sleep. And then I cried. I really cried. Every time I remember, you know, family members, they come by, you know, my brother, and I was just crying. The one person that was really beside me through all of this, you know, through all of the hospital nights and everything was my mom, and I'm really thankful for my mom. I know it must be hard to see me this way, and usually I should see in my videos, I am one goofy dude. I'm like I laugh a lot. I just make jokes. I just stopped all of that through all of this, dude. I just stopped that. I couldn't even laugh. Not even it's hard because, you know, pain in my wounds, but I just didn't even feel it. I was really getting fucking depressed. It was the most hopeless feeling you can ever feel. It's so bad, and even think about it, they gave me so much strong pain medicine, and that didn't even help me. I was just thinking to myself, oh my gosh, how long is this gonna freaking last? It really almost felt like I was just paralyzed. As crazy as it sounds, it just really felt like it. I couldn't even move, man. I was literally laying down my bed right here, just like this. Couldn't even move for straight 3 days. 3 freaking days straight. 3 days. I had to stay in the hospital. I had to stay over the hospital for almost 3 days, and then the doctors, they were really concerned. They just didn't understand why it was this hard for me. But the doctors really want me to walk. Just walk some, or even try for them to send me back home. Oh boy. When I tell you I tried, I really tried. I really did. I just tried to get up. I just tried to get up as hard as I could. Man, I almost screamed. I really almost screamed. And there was one time where I just kept going and going and going. And I think the nurses probably heard me, but I definitely screamed. And as soon as I went back, I was like, oh, I tried so many times, and I'm not a quitter. I really tried. I just couldn't. I really just couldn't. So physical therapy came in, and pretty much if I like it or not, if I wanted to or not, which in this case I really wanted to get up, no matter how freaking painful it was. If physical therapy didn't get me up, I just can't go home. I just can't. So they did. Pretty much they just helped me just to sit up. But mainly it was really me. I had to pretty much just do my best just to get up, and in my head, I thought that me just sitting up was the hard part, but damn, I was wrong. Whenever I finally sit up many tries, it wasn't the first try, not even the second, not even the third time, not even the third try, man. But whenever I finally sat up and I was in the bed just sitting down, now I had to get up. And I thought that was the easy part. I thought that would have been maybe just been a little bit easier, but man, I couldn't. It really caught me off guard at how I just couldn't move. It's the most hopeless and depressing feeling you can ever feel. Like, as a person that I enjoy working out, I enjoy just moving around a lot, this really caught me off guard. After many tries, you know, with one person on each arm just holding me, trying to get me up, I did it. And I screamed. I really screamed. And then if you guys want to know what really pushed me to get up, It was my mom. The reason is because, my mom has had her ups and downs. She has dealt with some severe depression. And then I remember when I was a kid, I just come home from school seeing her in the bed all day, and I just didn't see her really happy. And me, my dad, and my brother were really the people that really got her to get out of bed, to keep moving, to move on. And then at one point she, I'll be honest, I'm not gonna get there, but let's just say that she's much better now, and I'm very happy. She's more happy, but she was definitely mentioned about how I was a reason that kept her moving, that gave her some will to get up every single morning. And then now she's telling me the same thing. And then, as much as I love my family, I love my mom, I did it for her. It was painful. I really, again, it was the most hopeless feeling to ever feel. You couldn't even get up from your own, but you couldn't even get up to walk. But I'll tell you this though, whenever I finally did get up, I chuckled, and there were happy tears. So I think you can see where this is going. Physical therapy tried to get me walk, pretty much baby steps. And one person on each arm had to hold me up. I couldn't just walk on my own 2 feet. And then it was even worse that I actually needed a walker. Yeah, an 18-year-old needed a walker. Again, I'm not a quitter. Physical therapy, they gave me a choice, say like, we can stop right now if you want to. I said, no, I want to keep walking. Well, let's go. I want to keep walking. And it was painful, but I want to keep walking. And I did. I was just happy. It was the happiest I ever been, especially around that terrible time of me. The pain, that intense pain. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't laugh. So now moving forward, I finally ended up going home. It felt really good of them, It felt really good, me going through all of the halls and me thinking this is going to be the last time I'm going to see this big hospital. So I went back home, man. I mean, at least I'm back home, but the pain just didn't want to go away. And even with the bed I have, which is pretty comfortable, didn't even help me with my pain at all. So yeah, whenever I said I really couldn't sleep for pretty much close to 2 weeks, I really mean it. Yeah, man, it was just miserable. I just couldn't even sleep. I couldn't even eat. I couldn't even walk. And every time I tried to, it felt like torture. Literally torture. This wasn't the end of the complications of my recovery. One of my wounds ended up opening. Wow. Couldn't get any worse. One of my wounds ended up opening. It started bleeding. I had to go to ER. They just treated it and everything. And also, they were noticing that I had a small fever, like 99.9. Was pretty close to a fever, kind of. And then they were just curious at why you have a fever and everything. But they sent me back home. They treat my wounds and everything. Yeah, but this is where it started to get really, really bad. I started to shiver a lot. My fevers started to go up every single day. 100, 101. 102. I was shivering so bad to where I was literally like this. Not even an exaggeration, it was literally this bad. So my mom right away called the nurses on that hospital, and then the doctors just ordered and just told us that we had to come back immediately because they really think that an infection has grown on me. And they were right. No hesitation. We had to go back to the hospital. Keep in mind, the hospital that I got my surgery on, it's not close by. It's actually 2 hours away. So imagine the drive of me going from here to that hospital in 2 hours. But hey, they're going to treat me better. But man, can you imagine a car seat, especially with this pain on this back I'm telling you about? Yeah, it just couldn't get any worse, huh? I was getting severely dehydrated. My mouth was so dry as if I was out in the desert, just stranded. They immediately just started antibiotics. I got so many IVs to all of this, all the ER visits, and me staying over in the hospital. I think a total of 12 IVs. Each arm right here, my hand, several times for blood work, everything. It's actually insane. I think I have a scar now. My mom kind of started just to panic. She just was so worried. These fevers were getting so bad. The infection was just, I guess, so bad to where my fevers went up to 104. And then if you guys don't know, 104 is pretty high. It gonna get any worse, especially with such a strong fever. My heart rate got so bad. My heart rate went up the roof. And also my blood pressure. My blood pressure went up to 178 once. The top number, 178. I was so close to hit 180. And then my heart rate was my resting heart rate. Suppose my resting heart rate, where I'm not even working on nothing, resting heart rate was 160. And then they checked my heart. They didn't even give me EKGs. It was bad. It was even worse. It was even worse. You know, as crazy as it sounds, it really just felt like I was fucking dying. It just felt like I was just dying. I was just, and then also this feels even worse whenever I haven't taken a good shower. As gross as it sounds, probably close to 5 days, especially with these fevers. I had to stay over in the hospital a second time with these fevers. I couldn't take a shower for close to 3 to 4 days. And then with fevers, whenever they go down, you sweat a lot. So I just felt so filthy, man. And don't get me wrong, whenever I did finally get better, and then these fevers stopped, I definitely took a good shower. But yeah, whenever I went back to the hospital, they treated me with these antibiotics, you know, for my fevers. I just stayed in the hospital for 5 days, 6 days, I think, close to a week. I finally went back home, man, and that supposedly is where it really just started to pretty much be a normal recovery. You know, just went back home doing the same routine. I tried to sleep, you know, take my pain medicine, and pretty much be miserable for weeks. You know, it's crazy how we can take a lot of things for granted. It's not cliche, it's just the truth. Sometimes we just don't appreciate the small things. I was keeping telling my mom that how I just took my legs for granted. I just, you know, I couldn't even run, I couldn't even walk for so long. I was just telling my mom that how, you know, we really need to appreciate the small things. And this was my fight, for me to get my life back, pretty much. There's always something to fight for. And in my case, what I was fighting for was for me, for my family. And I was keeping telling myself that, you know, this is temporary, this is not permanent, this is temporary. The pain is temporary. No matter how dark it gets, no matter how terrible it gets, there's always still brighter days. There's always still light out there. As someone who actually likes to laugh, who actually likes to be one goofy ass dude, and I couldn't do all those things for almost a month, but now I am again. I think that should tell you something, that it gets better. It really does get better. Now it's April 25th. It's been now 2 months since my surgery. I had my surgery February 22nd, and I'm walking. I can pretty much run, kind of. My scars and my wounds, the pain here is pretty much practically gone. Sometimes it comes and goes, you know, around those areas, like it kind of stings a little bit. These scars are really something, you know. They're big scars. I know that some people that don't really like scars, especially from surgeries, but I like mine. In the future, if I ever feel low, if I ever feel like I'm not good enough, if I ever feel like I'm not strong enough and I cannot do anything, I cannot push myself, I can look in the mirror and just look at these scars and it'll tell me otherwise. This is going to be here for the rest of my life. These scars are just going to be there. And I'm fine with it. They're battle scars to me. My back pain, that severe back pain, is pretty much almost gone now. I can definitely sleep much better. You know, it feels good to get a good night's sleep after through all of this. It really does. But what sucks that, and as weird as it sounds, I actually lost feeling. I mean, right here on my lower right back, like, it's numb. Like, it's literally numb. I probably need to go to a neurologist to get it checked out, but yeah, feeling doesn't, not all of my feeling wants to come back for some reason. It's weird. Like, I cannot feel feeling over here, but around my wounds, I didn't lose feeling over here. Yeah. No, I didn't lose feeling. It's so weird. I didn't even lose feeling around my wounds, and those were the places where I'm supposed to lose feeling, but apparently a place that I didn't get surgery on, I lost feeling. The doctors are kind of confused why my back is the way it is. And then like how I was hurting so much. They think it probably could be because, you know, I was sitting up like this. They were operating on me on a rock solid table, and that probably did it. Or also, you know, while they're doing surgery, they had to, I think they said that they had to put me on my side. Who knows, man? Who knows? If I get feeling back or not, I really don't mind. It's not really that bad, to be honest. I can live with it as long as I'm not feeling any more pain. My gosh. If you can take something from this video, not only that there's always something to fight for, but appreciate the small things. Really, appreciate the small things. Appreciate that you can walk every single day. You can walk to the kitchen without no pain and get yourself a plate. Be grateful that you can actually sleep every single night. Be grateful that you're just living. No matter how bad it is, you really should. There's always something to fight for. There's always something to look up for. This whole journey really showed me a lot of things. And even though that I once said that I regret getting the surgery and that I hated all of this, but now I don't. I'm actually thankful that this happened to me because now I really appreciate more and I really don't take a lot of things for granted anymore. Sometimes this one bad thing, one bad step can lead you to something great, to lead you to something better, a better you. And nobody is weak in this world. Nobody is weak. Okay guys, I think this video is a little bit too long, but I just want to let you guys know, obviously I'm back. I'm fine. My kidney problem is solved, even though I had to experience a lot of pain. Me, dude. But I am very happy that, I am pretty much all better now. Summer's coming up. Now I'm going to be posting way more. I got a lot of crazy video ideas, dude. I can't wait to get back and make more videos for you guys, seriously. And surprisingly, you guys surprised me, but I actually seen some new subscribers from the time that I've been away. And for you guys, welcome. I really hope not a lot of people left. And I really hope that there's still a few people that stick with me through all of this. Just want to make this video. More bangers to come. I love you guys. Nothing can stop you. And I will see you guys next video. Peace out.